You can make money in any kind of real estate investing, but the asset class can make or break you and make or break your lifestyle. This is a clip from a full episode of Beyond a Million with Brad Sumrok, where he talks about how he ditched his entire single family portfolio to do apartment buildings. Check out the clip and watch the full episode at beyondamillion.com.
I want to talk about your area of expertise. For 20 years. You've been buying apartment buildings, starting with a 32-unit apartment building. And your model has been buy existing, improve, and either hold and or refi or sell them. I have tons of interest in this. First and foremost, why apartments as an asset class versus commercial versus single family homes, high rises, whatever?
So number one, you can make money in any of those things. Okay. Mm-hmm. And why I chose apartments is actually, it's pretty simple, is I went to a seminar and they only taught two types of real estate investing. They taught single family rentals and multifamily rentals. And I resonated more with multifamily. So 20 years ago, I made a decision to do multifamily and I never looked back. Now I could fill in the blanks and say, oh my God, well, here's why. So like, besides that first deal that was 32, like now I only do large multifamily. So the why on that and the power of that is we're buying deals and hiring professional management companies. So like, unlike single family, like I'm not a landlord. I was asked to speak at a landlord conference and then I told him, well, I'm a business owner. I'm not really a landlord. And, the first thing I'm going to tell people at your conference is don't be a landlord. Because a landlord is like, oh, you do it yourself, right? It's like you buy a deal, you meet the tenant, you do the maintenance, you knock on the door, you collect rent. I mean, that's not what I do. And so why I love apartments as opposed to some other asset classes, when you buy like 60 units and up, you get economies of scale, you get non-recourse debt instead of recourse debt, which is, do you want to have personal liability or no personal liability? Do you want to have to qualify for the loan based on your personal income and credit or based on the income of the business? Okay, so there's a lot of advantages of buying 60 unit and up apartment buildings. Now, some of these aren't unique to apartments. They might be also, the same with, say, other commercial. But then when you look at commercial, like if you look at COVID, a lot of hotels got decimated, retail got decimated, apartments did amazing. Okay, people always need a place to live. And if you look at like a 100-unit apartment building, if your vacancy goes from 95% to 85%, you can lose 10 tenants and still cash flow. But if you have a commercial building, you either have one tenant or zero tenants. And usually that one tenant is going to do tenant improvements and make it somewhat customized to their business. And if they have to move out or go bankrupt, then you have a 100% vacancy that probably needs a lot more tenant improvements or modifications to get another tenant. Unless you can rent it to another, let's say I had a quick service restaurant that went out of business, I'm going to need to rent it to another quick service restaurant, or they're going to have to spend a lot of money modifying it. Okay.
Sure.
So
of course, the flip side of that, right, is that those tenants, once they've sunk that money in, they've got a 3, 5, 10, 15-year lease, right? And then you have one tenant that, as long as their business is there and you underwrote the business effectively, it's a long-term tenant, right? So that's what the retail center owner would pitch, right? That's the thing that they lean on. But what you said that I think is relevant is that answers that almost directly is, but I don't manage the apartment building. I have a professional management company that does it and handles that side of it.
Well, here's the other beauty. See, right now, I don't want it, like if I'm in commercial and I have a long-term lease, like a commercial lease, and I do understand a little bit about commercial because I'm a CCIM, certified commercial investment member, but I only focus on multifamily, right? But commercial leases tend to be longer term and they have escalating clauses like, well, the rent will go up 3% a year or whatever. Okay. Well, in residential multifamily, the leases are a year or 6 months. And so when you're in an inflationary market like we are now, Brad, you don't want to be tied into a long-term lease because we want to be able to be pivoting. And as the market demand as the demand is increasing and the supply is decreasing, like we're raising rents 20, 30% without doing any capital improvements. And I know some people out there might be like, well, that's not fair and housing is a right and we need to have rent control. And I'm not going to go political, but I just try to stay away from those areas. And that's why I don't invest in like California or, those types of environments is because I want to be investing in a free market economy like Florida, like Arizona, like Atlanta, like Texas. And so we have the ability, especially now, like during an inflationary market where these are 6 month to 1 year leases. And so we're able to raise rents, and apartments are a great hedge against inflation because the more they print money and the higher the rents go up, the more we can charge for rent. And the more our value goes up as well, because apartments are valued by income. It's a phenomenal why apartments is because
Awesome.
they're a great hedge against inflation. And so, the agencies like Fannie and Freddie, they love loaning non-recourse loans on apartment buildings. They love them. And they don't do these for, say like mobile home parks and other types of, single family homes or duplexes or fourplexes and things like that.
So that's awesome. I think that's super helpful. And I appreciate you taking time out today.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. And I hope there's some valuable information in here. I think there is, by the way.
Oh, definitely. No question about it.